I 100% agree that he sticks there in the center, very closer to Matic than to Bruno.
It's only when they've got full on position and everyone is pressed forward and the centre backs are in the opposition half where you see Pogba more forward and he's idle around there. But he actually does stick back, to be honest. The whole Mata
and I do think he enjoys it.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I do think, this is the position he plays for France. So it's not like he's not used to playing that sort of deeper midfield.
Yeah, but remember, you must look at the players he has around him in France. He's playing alongside Mbappe. He's playing with Griezmann. He's playing with
Matuidi, Papa,
Matuidi, Kante. It's different. Here he's playing with
but Mike, but you're not. I thought you were going to say something else now.
But no, all I'm saying is, if you Pogba, right?
Devon, that's being used
But if you play next to Kante, right? You have more freedom to sort of push higher up on the pitch, even when you're playing deep. Yeah, because remember, Pogba, dog.
But Kel's saying he does exactly. Kel says he's playing the same role that he plays for France.
But doesn't France play 4-4-2?
He's not playing the role the same way.
Doesn't France play 4-4-2?
He's not playing it the exact same way.
They do play a
deep line midfielder, receiving the ball, distributing.
He doesn't have a Kante protecting him. That's the thing.
He has Matic. No, but
Matic is not as agile as Kante.
Yeah, but they're both defensively adept. He's got a defensively adept midfielder next to him.
Which is because Matuidi and Kante are first defensive before offensive, both of them. So then if you're looking at it from that, he's got two defensive people with him. At United, he's only got one. Is that what you're saying?
And that guy's not even the quickest guy on the pitch. If Pogba makes a mistake, it's late. Versus if he makes a mistake while he's playing with what's his name, with a Kante, because at least Kante can help you recover.
But that would then suggest that when he plays for France, he should be more expansive, more free flowing and attacking. Whereas what I'm saying is when I've watched him, when I've seen him play for France versus now, he plays very similarly. Deep line playmaker.
And you'll catch him just outside the box. Even when he plays for France,
he doesn't disappear the way he disappears when he plays for United, honestly. Like, there's spells of the game where Pogba is just gone.
Not the quality of the performance, but the role. That's what I'm trying to say. He plays the same role.
I hear you with the role, Gilles. I do hear you with the role. But I'm saying
what
that
the whole discussion
even
was
within
about.
The role is not exactly the same. You can be a CDM, but it doesn't mean that you play the same way for every single team where you're CDM.
But I'm saying he does that. He plays that same way. He plays the sort of deep line playmaker.
What I'm saying is that it's the same role, but he doesn't play it the same way.
I'm saying he's the same role and he plays it the same way.
No, dog.
No, he does.
He's got more defensive responsibilities for United than he does for France.
Can I tell you the difference?
I don't think he capitalizes on his attacking responsibilities
because he doesn't have the space.
United.
No, he's got
in United. He doesn't have the space because I need to.
But I'm saying even at France. But what I'm saying is even at France, it's not like he is a pure number 10 when he all of a sudden plays for France. He still is not playing as a pure number 10.
He's more of a CM than a CDM when he plays for France.
But even at United now, his role is CM.
He's a CM
now.
Dude, if you look at right now, all his tactics are very simple. Give Bruno the ball, let Bruno do what he does best. That's it. That's why he's not get injured.
But he's not a CDM. He's a central midfielder for both.
But he's being played as a CDM at United, dude. No. We see Pogba next to the defense.
No.
Please look at where Pogba picks up the ball. No, guys, come on. Please look at where Pogba picked up the ball. Please look at where he receives the ball.
No, but Maeza, to be fair, Maeza is saying how we started off saying that he does go pretty deep. He goes all the way to the back. I mean, even when he lost the ball for some goal or whatever, he does. No, but I'm not sure what it is, though, Maeza. I'm not sure what it is, but he does go all the way back. And that's with Matic always Fred. He goes all the way back. He goes.
But that's it because he's a deep line playmaker. He wants to receive the ball from deep and dictate.
And that's how he likes to play. And I think that's how he likes to play.
The thing is,
because those deep balls that he plays.
Always putting too much offensive responsibility on Bruno. right? Whereas it should be Pogba should also be allowed to push up a bit, bro, so they can share the responsibility.
No, but can I tell you? No, but can I tell you why I disagree? I hear what you're saying. So I think first and foremost, you must remember what Ole does with the tactic with the last two midfielders. They tend to swap position, but not that often. It'll be in a few moments, the pockets in the game where they'll swap position. Pogba will be right next to the centre backs, and then he'll bring the ball forward. But sometimes I think they do that because he's better at bringing the ball from the back and finding the right pass than Matic would be. But it's not necessarily that he's playing a CDM. It's just maybe to switch the play around. Like, you also see that he does go forward. But I think the issue where I maybe agree a little with you is, but I don't know if it's an Ole thing. I think Pogba maybe feels like there's relief that Bruno's here. But I think what he needs to do is maybe step up a little bit offensively. Because I do think that he does shy. I do think he does shy a little bit. And I'm not too sure whether it's a fitness worry or if it's a tech. I don't know. But he does shy a little bit in terms of what he does. That's what I can agree. Yeah. But he doesn't play CDM for either. And I think the difference between France and
do you understand that Pogba was our top goal scorer last season? One of our top goal scorers last season.
He had to be. But he had to.
But that's when he was
this season. How many goals has he scored?
I think no one's saying exactly the same thing, Maeza.
Yeah, last season, who were you relying on goals for? Lukaku with the heavy touch. Pogba, had to drive forward. Like, who were you relying on last season? Like, you guys.
And he was playing further forward.
And he was scoring penalties.
He was playing further.
Now this year he's not doing penalties. He's not on free kick duty really at all anymore. So those goals are also less. But the difference also with France and Man U as well, remember, is that with France they play a very pragmatic game. Because when you guys are talking, I was actually thinking, who starts? Remember, Matuidi actually plays on the left wing. For France.
He's a Sissoko type.
Yeah, like I said, they play him as a Sissoko-S type. He doesn't really create, he's just there, he's doing the work. He tracks back. So when you have a player like him going back, and also with your boy over there, help me out here. Chelsea. Yeah.
Kante.
With Kante. You can afford to actually be a little bit more creative and go forward, not really thinking about defensively. But at the same time, all you really need to do with the France is find a Griezmann, find an Mbappe.
That's what Mike's saying.
What happens? Boom.
No, I think we're all saying the same thing. What are you saying, Minnie?
I don't think Pogba can really change his game right now the way that we play, because this is how I look at it. I could be wrong. I think right now what they're doing is that they split the field vertically. So Bruno will be further up the pitch than Pogba, because right now we're not stretching defenses as widely as we can. Let's say if Wan-Bissaka and Shaw start becoming better threats, if we had Liverpool's wings, if we had Robertson and then we had Trent, and we were able to stretch defenses this way, then Pogba and Bruno would be able to split the pitch like between left and right, because then they are connecting with wing play this side, and they can be both a bit higher up with one person in the middle who's trying to link everything else. You know what I'm saying? But right now, because a lot of the things that we're trying to do kind of goes like through the middle, and then we have that one piercing pass that comes to the wide. They have to split the defenses and get like different lines going. Bruno has to be here and Pogba has to be here, because if they're both here, there's no angles to play, because then our wing backs are not giving us enough options. So if you give us more options on the on the outside, then you can see them come up together, because now they can at least have those little passes and they know that they're threats.
And that's why you also that's why you also see there's a big difference. As much as Williams is playing, he's playing excellent. I think he needed just a few games to get some confidence. But you see there's a huge difference between him and Shaw coming in. Shaw drives forward a lot and gets the ball into the box a lot quicker. So you have that.
I actually think that is the big difference.
Yeah. And Rashford is also not playing as well with Williams.
Yeah, Rashford, because... Sorry, yeah?
I like what Minnie is saying, right? Because it reminds me a lot of the famous duo, Xavi Iniesta, right? When those guys were operating that midfield, what helped them as well was the width. And the width was coming from Alves. So Alves would give them that width, which forced the play to spread out. So they had more space in the midfield in order for them to make it nasty. So with Man United right now, we don't have enough width, number one. when Shaw got injured, we saw that this guy was giving us something. And that's when Bruno was really, really like running, like he was just all over the show because he had so much space. Right? Wan-Bissaka, we saw Wan-Bissaka assisting. We saw Bruno inviting Wan-Bissaka into the game. I love that. It's beautiful, right? But my only problem is that this is all coming at the expense of Pogba.
But
Pogba.
Mike,
I think you're
switching at the end there because, to be honest, a majority of our play actually did change when Shaw left, because I don't know how it's affected Bissaka, but Wan-Bissaka doesn't bust forward like he did when Shaw was busting as well. And when they were actually both doing that, Mike, you would see that even when Paul picks up the ball, he actually first looks wide.
Yeah, he still does.
So they were actually both involved. He was actually involved in play 2-3, giving us width. But I don't understand how Bissaka has been affected by Shaw, though. I just don't get it. Because he doesn't
just to finish off the statement, right? Another thing I've noticed about Pogba is that when it comes to him arriving at the final third, he arrives too late. So by the time he arrives, it's already clogged up. So there's not much he can do. And that's where we need those legs. You see, if he was a bit more agile with that box-to-box situation, at least when he arrives at the final third, it'll be at the points where he can really pick out nice passes or maybe get in the box and take a young shot. But by the time he gets there, dude, it's already packed. They're trying to look for a way in. They're busy passing the ball side to side, playing like a wiper, side to side, looking for space. No space.
That's difficult.
The pass I remember that we used to do, the problem is it was Pogba doing the pass, was that back post pass to like a Fellaini or something. So you'd be knocking about on, let's say, on the left, and then you take it, and then just like a little dink over the top to the back post. That used to, and Pogba used to be good for that when he played as the CAM, because he would make the late run, almost like Scholes or Lampard. But I think Maeza's right. By the time he gets into that position now, there's like 14 people in the box. And so there's no space for that to go over. Or he's the one who has to actually give the ball and no one's seeing that pass. Because you see quite often, and Mata's also very good at it, like just getting the ball head up and then just dink over the top.
He's good at those those small interchange, that interchange of play inside the box. He's very good at that. You're right.
That's why I made a difference when he came on. Whew, my dog. But can I say something quick? Something that I've said before, and I think it contributes to what you guys are saying. It's because we don't play players in their natural positions as well. I think, for example, with Greenwood and Rashford a little bit to some extent, but he's getting better with the assists. With Greenwood, you get goals, and you do get assists, but he's not a natural winger. So I think we struggle a little bit more when we can't break down players. If you actually look at Mason's game as well, it's simple passes, which works. But the problem is not everybody's doing the same thing. It's not pass through, boot, go. It's not like that. It's pass, wait, look. One person does two interchanges, then wait, look, back. So if you have someone like a Sancho in that position, for example, in a game where guys are really like all over in the opposition's box, you can have a guy who can get the ball, beat a man or two, pass to Bruno, pass to someone else, make another pass, then you kind of open up play. Why Mata was working in that situation is because even though he doesn't track back, you're seeing a lot of, as you said, you're seeing a lot more interchange. Good passes, simple passes, the right type of whole play. So you're seeing that breakdown happen a little bit more. When we play teams that open up, that's when you see Mason do well, because now there's space and they can go for goal, boom, 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 boom. But when you're actually trying to break down teams, it doesn't really work that well.
No, Greenwood. But Greenwood's natural position is striker, right?
100%.
Yeah.
He's a forward. He's number 9. That's the issue.
What's Rashford's position?
7.5.
Because he said give it to Rashford. Do you guys remember probably 18 months ago when the only thing the media was saying is, Rashford would just be better in his natural position as a number 9. For a year, that's the only thing they were saying.
I like Rashford, but I don't.
Gotta hate the media, man. Gotta hate it.
He's one of those guys, man. And I really hope that we buy this guy. But if we can get Sancho, guys, for me personally, that's all I want. Like that's my dream signing. If we can get Jadon Sancho, if you can get like Koulibaly, we're winning the league. That's what we're 2 players away.
Nah. I think we need one more. I think we need one more.
Jeepers.
One more.
A backup midfielder.
Yeah.
All we need in that squad, right, is just we need like a guy who can give us a good options there on the right-hand side. We need to solidify the defense. Make sure that we keep Pogba happy, because a happy Pogba is a winning United.
Is a happy United.
That's it. And also we need Ole. Guys, you know what pisses me off about your manager, Ole? This guy is always sitting on the bench the whole game. Ole only stands up in the 90th minute.
What's it gonna do? What different? He's got Mike Phelan, he's got Michael Kieran McKenna. The guys are there. There's a presence.
He watches the game like you and I. I could manage United if I was like Ole.
Nah, bruh. But you don't see the game the way he sees the game. But Maeza, how many times have you seen Phelan on the sideline? Have you seen Carrick, McKenna talking to the guys? There's like 4 coaches. I don't know why we have 4 coaches.
When does Ole make? First of all, when Ole makes a substitution, between 85th minute and 90 minutes, that's when Ole makes his changes.
Especially if he starts with these first 11.
But
because he doesn't.
But to be fair, he wasn't
we all
doing
don't
that
trust
in the beginning of after the break. He wasn't doing that, guys. Let's be honest.
He was starting the same team every single game.
I'm talking about the sub.
But you had to. He had to.
He didn't have to.
See, he actually and
trust your players, trust your squad.
Yeah, and on that, Maeza, to be honest, my biggest, I don't know what your guys' goals for next season for United, but my biggest one is, even if we only get Sancho, Ole needs to be more tactical with regards to his squad. Yes, they are some very good players, but you need to know that, you know what, this game, it's better to only play Pogba as a 10, Bruno, keep him out, play Fred as the number 6, and play someone else. Okay, no, for this one, play Dan James instead of whatever. It cannot be that you play the exact same. I play the same 11 for all the you can't.
Every single game.
You're going to be upset.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Liverpool. Who did Liverpool
change? Liverpool changed.
No, they don't.
How?
They do change.
Who did they change?
The midfield changes all the time. The midfield changes all the time.
Listen,
the midfield changes all the time.
How Liverpool changes their tactics in the game.
They changed
You don't know what midfield. You don't know what midfield you're going to get with Liverpool.
But it's only the midfield.
You don't know what midfield you're going to get.
It's only the midfield, and the reason why is because the midfield play a very specific function. They're there just to kind of as blockers. There's no creativity coming from the midfield. At the back, they never change. It's always Trent. It's always Robertson.
Yeah, that's because you don't change your defense, dog. Come on,
and the front they don't change. They don't change.
No, you have Origi. You have Origi coming on sometimes, or you play Ox and you'll say Salah chill on the bench for this game. No, but that's what I'm saying is we need to get to. No, but that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is when we switch, we can't be switching 8 players because now it's a cup. Now it's switching all 11 now. Like Dan James needs to play with Bruno and Pogba in the exact same team, and Martial playing. That's how he's going to develop.
True.
You can't lose, but we all agree you lose something when you take that first 11.
But what I'm saying is, if you play against Norwich, are you telling me you can't risk 2 players against Norwich?
But Norwich are the teams that we were struggling with before.
No, but I'm saying, you keep Bruno on, you keep Pogba on.
Yes.
But how's the rest of the squad going to get better then?
No, I disagree. I agree and disagree with you a little bit. So
you're going to get a shock when Rashford's out.
Gillespie, do you remember when Pogba was... No, listen, Gillespie. Do you remember when Pogba was injured, right? And we didn't have Bruno. Who was holding us, dog? Who was carrying us?
Scotty, Fredo.
Max Sauce, dog. Max Sauce was carrying us.
Can you please stop this agenda? Can you please stop this agenda?
I think
Scott carried us for 2 months. It was 2 months.
That was a long time.
That's a long time, dog.
United was dying.
We were playing Europe.
He took us on his back,
Premier League.
He took us on his back and he carried us. He carried the team, right? You got injured. Then you go and buy Bruno. And then Pogba's fine. Now you're telling me that you can't trust that same guy who was
you can trust him. You can trust him, but he didn't. But he didn't perform. Games against Norwich in the FA Cup where he started with Fred. He didn't perform. Maeza, but you can't play the guy.
You give him one game.
It was squeaky bum time.
3 games.
That's why I stated that this is for next season. That's why I said my wish for next season is to have an integrated squad.
100%. I just don't know if
it's not gonna happen.
Like the guys haven't shown me that they can consistently get to that level.
There's no preseason. There's no preseason. So where are you gonna get the time to get your drill guys back into be like preseason is normally the best time to really pick out, okay guys, we're trying these things out, we're implementing these things. These guys are gonna go to Dubai for 2 weeks, then maybe train for a couple of days and then play the first game of the Premier League. That's what's gonna happen.
So these guys aren't going to Ibiza.
Huh?
There's no Ibiza for these guys.
Is it not closed?
For J-Links. J-Links is not going to be out in Miami, nothing.
Nah, he's out. That guy's going to Italy, bruh. Links is gone, bruh. Links is gone. It's over. Nah, that guy's career is over, bruh.
But if it goes your way, then I'm skeptical because what's the point of Dan James then? Because you only bring Dan James on with 8 other new players that are cold as well.
And you playing James 5 minutes.
So I agree that during the course of a season, you must have a squad that you can play around with because a season is long. This was our 60th game. What I'm saying is that from the break to when the end happened, we're comparing that he played the same team every single game. I'm saying he had to play that team. It was his best team and he needed the points. If we were the best from when we got back to when we ended, we had the best record. I think it was 9 wins and one draw. And we came third by 1 point. 9 wins, 1 draw, and you came third by 1 point. You had to play your best team all the time because it was squeaky bum time. You couldn't. Else we're coming sixth.
And it worked.
And then we're all saying it's a failed season. We're saying it's a failed season, Ole out, whatever. He had to.
I understand what you're saying, right? I do get.
I'm just saying for next season.
100% do. All I'm saying, right, is that when the team was looking flat, you need to put energy into the squad. Right? When you can see that, look, it's been 60 minutes now.
100%.
Everyone is dragging their feet. Pogba's pass aren't sticking. Bruno's running around aimlessly. Come on, dog, make a sub.
100%.
But you're saying make a sub for the sake of making a sub. You have to make a sub with
the only time I was saying make changes was when the team was flat. I wasn't saying make changes when the team was strong.
But but we're saying a flat Martial is better than an energetic Dan James.
Okay.
An energetic Dan James.
Stay Igalo.
No, I was going to say Dan James.
No, Igalo, position for position.
Why can't we can put Dan James in and he can put Rashford up front?
You can put J-Links there.
If you're winning 3-0, if you're winning 3-0, right? You 3-0 up, 60th minutes. You know that you have to play like 5 other games within the space of 2 weeks, right? You 3-0 up. Are you taking out Bruno? Or are you keeping him on?
It depends. I might keep him on. I might take him out.
And mind you, you have 5 subs. You have 5 subs to make. Are you keeping Bruno or are you taking him off?
So how many times did that happen? That
this guy hardly ever took Bruno off.
No, Maeza.
The one time you took Bruno off on the 90th minute.
Answer your own question, bro. Your own question. 3-0 up, 60th minute, 5 games. How many times did that happen? Probably once against Bournemouth.
No, there was
other times
we scored more than 3 goals.
We were quite strong.
There was that run. That 4 or 5 run. That 4 or 5 games run.
That was a run of scoring more than throughout the game.
All those games,
not being 3-0 up.
The whole game.
Maeza saying
that was the only time when you took him off when he was busy drinking milk. That's the only time you took him off.
Tell me, Maeza, your own question. When did that happen?
Let me ask you something. Do you think it's justified that Juan Mata only played now?
Only played?
Now, after the season was over, they decided, okay, let's play my boy.
No one was going to, we wouldn't have said Mata should play in the beginning part of before Bruno.
But this is the thing, though.
I didn't say before Bruno.
But Kels, this is the thing, though, is if Juan Mata at 10 with the same front 3 and Pogba next to him, whatever, he could be a different player. All I'm saying is we just only need to show that, you know what, let me switch it up because I don't know what can happen. Bruno can pull up a hamstring in a game, and now you need someone that's used to. Okay, no, Mata actually does normally play. He can just come on,
But
or actually, Bruno is up.
I think the problem is we're assuming that Oli only sees United the way we see United. He's with them every day, gents. The guy trains with them. He knows things about Scotty that you'd have no idea about. He knows, and he knows the mental aspect. You see, the problem is we see United and we think, okay, because you watch them for 90 minutes.
You're giving Oli too much credit.
Oli does exactly what he watches matches. He watches the game. He sits there on that little screen. He watches the game. That's what he does the whole game.
So I can't take you guys seriously. You're telling me that you guys are as good as Oli. You guys are coaching at United.
No way. Come on, dude. Ole kind of so shy.
I agree with you halfway.
Coach,
I hear what you're saying, but Ole's biggest problem is tactical prowess. It is because
100%.
He can easily
no prowess.
You see, for me, I think what he could easily do, and he did it in the FA Cup, I think, game, and that was the only time he did it. He switched to a 4-4-2. You can switch to a 4-4-2 in the game. You can switch to a 3 at the back. Maybe bring in Juan Mata, add an extra body in midfield. Maybe add an Odeon to add an extra attacker. Something, dog. Then you keep, I don't know, you take off one Bissaka or Brandon Williams or whoever, and just something, dog. Because then you know what happens? When a team can do that, that's a lot of the times. That's also when the opposition cannot answer. Because they were trained, they were like, these guys are going to do this 1-2 with Bruno. All of a sudden, there's Mata and Juan there, or Odeon holding the ball, and they're like, shit, they can't answer. Then they start making mistakes. But we don't see that. It's the same formation.
We're just saying we're hoping for that for next season.
Yeah.
Next season, it's 38 games. We're just hoping that he doesn't go with the same. With the same
38 games. You know what you're gonna see for 38 games?
That's
You're gonna see the same team.
Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left.
All the time. You know when the substitution is gonna come? 85th minute. That's when he's gonna change shit. And that's the only time he stands up is in the 85th minute towards the 90th. He stands up for 5 minutes in the whole game.
It's just my hope for next season. It's honestly just my hope.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying practically it's not often the case. It doesn't happen in most places.
What?
What do you how
I don't think
in game management. You need to manage the game.
Obviously in game management, but I'm saying you don't see suddenly he puts on 4 strikers. All over. Like you don't see Klopp just suddenly put on 4 strikers.
But that's not always.
I want to remind you. But that's what we're saying. I'm saying we're taking this last 8 games because that's what this is all. This is the sample. You're taking this last.
Do you remember United versus Liverpool?
But before, there's never any talk about win-win. I haven't heard one person talk about how Oli made Luke Shaw a left-sided centre back. And that was such a good thing. No one's talking about that.
No, but that was
3-5-2.
But that was the position at the beginning of the game. It's not like they switched within game, mid game.
But you see, we're talking about the tactical nuance. That's what I'm saying. Right? He doesn't have that tactical nuance, right? He doesn't understand how to use players in different positions to get the best out of them, right?
And I'm saying you're using.
And I'm saying our sample case is the last half of the season. Where he had the best team that was performing and he had to win.
Look, we hear you on that one, Kels.
I agree.
No one is disputing what you're saying. All we're saying is that, I don't know if you remember this game against Liverpool that United had, right? I think it was the first time around. I think that was the first time they either dropped points or they lost. I'm not sure.
Yes, they did.
We
drew, right? And we scored first. You see what Klopp did? You know what Klopp did? He put on Ox, right? And then he shifted the entire team. Now they were playing more wing play. Now they were even like wider. Where before the whole game they were more narrow. You see, Ole doesn't do that. He doesn't see a problem and say, let me fix this. Let me throw on Dan James to stretch the game. Add some more pace. Some crosses into the box. Nothing.
Look,
he carries on with the same tactic the whole
case in point, Maeza.
And then he puts on Odeon in the 85th minutes and expects this guy to do something in 5 minutes.
Case in point, he took out Fred and Eric Bailly for Lindelof and Matic when we needed a goal. I mean, come on.
Those are Mourinho subs.
But Kicks, in that situation, who are you gonna put on? What are you gonna?
Mata should have come on first.
Yes.
For who?
Like something to show you that we need it. You want to take over centre back?
Mata for who?
To put another centre back.
Come on.
Mata for who? No, my question is Mata for who?
Even Rashford was shaky before then. Even Rashford was shaky. Why not?
Take off Rashford.
Why not?
Because Rashford has scored 22 goals for him this season.
Marshall scored 23. Greenwood has scored 16. So that means no one's coming off. In a bad game, I mean, no one's coming off then. That's the issue, girls. But I'm saying that's the issue.
But they don't come because of those points because it's 22, 23, 17.
So then we must when he's submitting the team sheet, he might as well say no subs, thank you. These guys got 23 goals. What's the point then?
Max,
you need to manage the game. That's what the subs are for. The subs are there to manage the game. The subs are there to manage the game. What's up, Maximus?
Hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, brother.
Yeah.
It's getting hot.
I wasn't going to come on, but the banter was too juicy to ignore. So I also had to throw my sixpence into the pot. This question I have: why is Mini sitting over there looking like he's in detention or something? Man, he's all serious and isolated. Mini, what's going on?
I'm working, dog. I don't know if you can see screens and shit.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like spanning.
Homeboy's
Where do you get your beers, dog?
I couldn't miss it.
During Banterville, imagine. This guy's dead.
Anyway, what I wanted to say, man, guys, I think when it comes to Oli and his substitutions and tactical prowess, it really comes down to the fact that the guys he leaves off, he doesn't trust. He wants to get rid of them. That's what it comes down to. We all understand Mata should have been playing a lot since Oli, since the restart. But we've seen nothing of him. I think Oli is trying to send a clear, direct message that I don't want you here. F off, go somewhere else. I mean, it's so bad. Lingard is preferred over Mata. I don't understand.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, dog. Yeah, he's a good lad. He's a good lad.
I remember watching this.
From the academy.
This masterclass interview that they did with Oli, and he said in training they look at the character of players, i.e., who's got stature and willing to get stuck in, and who's a powder puff, and who's like a prima donna, and not about that old school United mentality. And I think you're seeing that with a lot of people. Oli's not putting in. He's like, nah, you don't suit the culture of the club. Please go your way.
But what about Scott?
It seems like Scott has fallen from grace. But I also think the problem with Scott is he does no particular job. He's not a CDM. He's not an attacking midfielder. He doesn't really fit into our style of play.
It's because he got a six-pack and was posting on Instagram. Now he's like, nah, dog, your character.
You also would.
Nothing wrong.
Yourself.
There's nothing wrong with Max Sauce, dog. Max Sauce is a perfect squad player. You need that guy to come in there and just, do his thing.
When you need someone to run around, you bring him in. But our real
when you need someone to run around, you put in Fred.
How was Fred's game against in the Europa League? I didn't notice much of it.
Nah, he played well.
No, it was good. But Max, just on what you're saying, that we don't know what a lot of people say. Oh no, we don't know what Fred does. Oh no, we don't know what Scott does. 3 years ago, when we just or even when we just got Mata, I don't understand why Mata's here. We don't really the United way. We don't really play with a number 10. Now it looks like we're saying, oh no, we don't play with a box to box. Do you know what I'm like?
Yeah, fair point.
Things move. I don't know.
I think also the game has evolved to the point where you can have that box-to-box player. It's about its specialization in this modern game.
Yeah, because
running around, kick here, kick there, chase. I mean, Roy Keane wouldn't make it in a lot of these top-tier squads that we have today.
Because you wouldn't.
Nah, Keane will make it, dude. Keane will make it. That's a hard man. Keane will make it in any era. That guy will break legs.
Yeah,
in fact, right now,
at a
normal tackle from Keane right now.
That is true. Yeah, you'd be at Stoke.
You guys,
Captain.
Don't come here and tell us, you guys. Do you think who's better, Fernandinho or Keane?
Keane. Watch the Juventus. Watch the United game. United versus Juventus, 1999. 2-1. We won that game 2-1. We won that game 2-1.
This is not 1999.
But Max, how are we?
As a collective, we are all better than our parents right now. All of us sitting in the group, no matter how great you're bad or what adversity they
Who's Ronaldo or Ronaldo? Like, I mean, come on. There are some guys in the past where you just be like, come on, dog.
Yeah, but those are once in a lifetime. There's someone like
Keane was better.
Okay, but you say Fernandinho is also one of the yeah.
No, but times change. I hear what Max is saying. Times do change.
What about Claude Makelele versus, I don't know who's a good CDM now? Casemiro.
Kante.
No, I can't.
Kante.
Yeah, Kante rather. And they both French.
Did Makelele win a World Cup?
But Makelele,
where was he? 98.
Legend. No, I think he was in the squad in 2000 for the Euro.
Yeah,
I don't think he was in the World Cup.
So there, I give you answer. Kante is better.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were having a grown-up discussion. I apologize.
No. Yes. But let's even look at
Steve Likwele is better.
No one's disputing that Makelele is a boss. Hey, my cat's trying to eat my KFC. But anyway.
I didn't expect to hear that.
Even actually, Max, you're actually correct. Because even
look at what he's done. You won the fucking Premier League with Leicester City. Do you imagine Makelele winning the Premier League with Leicester City? And then he went back to
Chelsea.
So did Kante.
No, I know, but I mean, Kante went from Leicester, won it, went to Chelsea, won it in a season when Liverpool was expected to win it. Let's not discount Kante's ability. And he's also the unsung hero in the French squad. We think Pogba and Co will be looking as good without Kante cleaning up.
So you say Fernandinho is better than Keane? Why is Fernandinho better than Keane? Because they're playing and Fernandinho is probably playing in arguably a better team.
I'd say Fernandinho from his technical ability that I've watched him produce. It's my own objective opinion, or is it subjective? I think it's subjective. My own subjective.
Max, I want to say something to you about the Roy Keane thing. You know what Roy Keane gives you? What Roy Keane gave Man United? Consistency.
We all know what he gave us.
Consistency.
He put fear in people. We're talking about we're talking about a player's ability.
We're talking about, but that's such an important thing that's overlooked. What makes a true player great is his level of of consistency. Cristiano Ronaldo, consistent performer. Messi, consistent performer. That's why those guys are great. Right. Now, you're telling us about Fernandinho. He's a great player. I'm not saying he's not a great player. Right. But Roy Keane gave United so much consistency, day in, day out, breaking legs all the time. No off days for that man.
No Ronaldo, not Roy Keane.
There's no doubt about that. I'm not disputing that. I mean, even by his own admission, he admits he wouldn't make these superstar teams that are out there now. He admitted it on Sky Sports. He himself said he was carried by the superstars around him.
Fact check.
But you always need, in a team. It's very rare to have a team that's just full of superstars that actually works and that succeeds.
No, 100%. I totally agree with you. I'm just saying Roy Keane in the modern day and age is not Manchester United quality. He's like good old Scott McTominay.
No. That's not. Hey, we don't want to get shut down by Roy Keane on Sky Sports.
Let me tell you, when it comes to Roy Keane, I don't mind saying what I have to say because that home is also full of shit. The last De Gea made a mistake. I don't know who we were playing.
That's true though. De Gea.
De Gea must jump on. And then on top of that, De Gea made a world-class save. No, he was right, but he also made a world-class save.
You don't let him on the bus. I agree with that sentiment.
Sorry, Max, go.
No, go ahead, Keke.
No, I was gonna take away from the conversation. That's why I wanted you to finish. But
yeah, go ahead. No, I'm done. You can go ahead.
Do you know that I think Liverpool play more like the old United than we do?
100%.
I know we're saying Oli has taken us back, whatever. I think he can't. Like, even this whole thing of having, no, we need a CDM. No, we need a creative player, an attacking midfield. We've never needed. We've had just engines in the midfield.
Yeah, I remember Rooney played across the whole front line, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, now we're like, oh my God, we can't play. We need a CDM or we'll never win the Prem. Like,
KK, I kind of low-key agree with you, but in a sense that we're not playing like the All United because Ole isn't taking us there. I don't know where Ole is taking us, but it's not there.
But he's tipped to be the one that's getting us back to our old ways, though.
If there's one thing about the old ways, right, is that we saw trust, we saw players rising to the occasion. That's what we saw with Old United. I watched Darren Fletcher become a match winner, dog. Darren fucking Fletcher.
Tom Cleverley.
There
were so many. We just got McTominay's. Running around.
That is what United was. Trust and
with James up front.
Alex Ferguson. And the thing is that Alex Ferguson had the ability to say to a guy that, you know what, this game is not for you, but next game, that one is for you. Ole walks into he looks at his squad, he's like, you know what, this game is not for you.
Next game is also not for you.
You know what?
Let's
go.
You guys think,
when are we playing FA Cup? You might play there.
You know what I'm saying?
But do you guys think that Sir Alex could have taken Pep and Jurgen Klopp? Do you think he could have beaten them?
Yes.
I don't know.
I think
about that.
It's a tough one. It's a very tough one.
I would make it if Sir Alex was not taking on top coaches at the same time. It's not like he was.
But these ones are different.
Let me tell you, Sir Alex's man management. He did things to people. I don't know if I don't know. It's like voodoo or something. But he took players to a whole new level. It's like, you know, when you play FIFA and it shows those augmented stats. Everybody in the team was playing at least 10% better than they actually are. I mean,
Klopp is doing that as well.
Huh?
No, he's technically astute.
But I mean, Klopp's team is actually good.
Klopp's team is good, but we've beaten them twice.
But he's made
those superstars.
He made a Robertson.
Few superstars, and that's it.
But let's talk about Klopp's line. Okay, he's got Mane, Salah, Firmino. In my opinion, those are
superstars. Firmino is probably not superstar. Mane, Salah, Van Dijk.
Yeah.
But none of those players were superstars when they are. But they were none of them were superstars when they arrived. 100%. None of them arrived. He made them all.
But now we are buying superstars.
So I just wonder, so Alex could have done the same thing, but I don't know if he had the tactical nous or that tactical nuance to actually, the way Pep and the way Klopp can, change a game by, like you say, just like Oli should, or hopefully will do one day. By changing formations and changing players. I don't know if Sir Alex maybe could have learned it, but at 75, 30-year career.
You don't think he had it at all?
The game was changing.
No, I think he
said it himself.
Yeah.
The game was changing.
Yeah, look, I don't think, because I remember reading back in the day, I mean, when we were changing from 4-4-2 to 4-5-1, 4-3-3, that came because of Carlos Queiroz and kind of how Queiroz saw the game changing. So I think he always had people around him who could see that stuff and then...
That's his skill. In life, you just know, you need to know what you're about, and where your skill set is, and outsource for all the...
everything else. Carlos Queiroz was the tactician.
Yeah. But remember now, what I love about Alex Ferguson is he obviously knew because Ferguson was obsessed with one thing, and that's winning, right? That guy knew how to win. He knew how to win. This guy would fucking tell John O'Shea, China, you can be the best keeper in the world. John O'Shea will step in those goals and he will fucking save everything. What does Ole do? What does Ole do for you?
Do you think he would beat Klopp and and Pep?
Charles, you're asking difficult questions.
I would like to.
I
love Alex Ferguson.
What is he asking?
And I can't answer that question because I don't think that they're the same type of managers.
The
areas are just too different.
Agreed.
You know, the areas are just too different.
I think on the evidence provided to us, he would. Yeah, you'd be, if given enough time, you'd evolve. I mean,
but now the thing is, he's 75. He was old.
I'm not thinking about current Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm saying, let's say we had Sir Alex Ferguson now in the modern game, starting as a 40-year-old. Like we're all.
Yeah, it would take a while. I think he'd be like Moyes, but.
Because at the end of the day, job is not tactics; it's man management. You can give them the best tactics in the world. If people aren't going to turn up on the day, you're wasting your time.
I think Pep lacks man. I think Pep isn't good with man management.
But he didn't he outsource it to Arteta and stuff, or was it Arteta the tactician?
I'm not too sure.
I think it was.
Mourinho has outsourced his tactics. The thing about Oli is even his backroom staff is just as inexperienced as him, except for Kenny. I mean, except for Mike. But everyone else we're all learning together here. It's like, where are we going to get?
That's right, guys. In 5 years, we'll be in the top. Don't worry. 5 years.
but with regards to the man management and Sir Alex Ferguson looking years apart of Oli and Klopp now looking like the man management guy, is when you're on top, it just looks so much more easier.
Yeah,
trying to manage guys that are losing.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Do you know who's going to be great?
Eddie Howe.
Lampard.
Oh,
Frank Lampard.
I think it's too early to tell, to be honest.
You know what I'm saying? Think about Fat Frank, right?
Your Fat Frank.
What he's doing now, he's building. He's honestly building a lovely team, right? And you can just see, dog, that Fat Frank, he has, dog, look, that guy.
Is he Fat Frank?
No, I think he's got it. I won't lie. I think Mike's right. I think Frank's got it.
Thank you.
I think next year, next season, his man management is going to be essential because he's buying practically a whole new team.
Agreed.
Yeah, and
a young team as well.
You know when I thought Frank had it, when he had a go at Jurgen when they were playing, and he was like having a proper go, that passion, that like, you know, I was like, okay.
He's got heart. He's got heart.
The one that Oli doesn't show.
Look, Oli doesn't have heart.
No, but
Oli is not interested.
Mike, you can criticize Oli to the moon and back, but right now his tactics are producing the results we want and need. You know, as a high school child, my mom used to criticize my studying patterns. But I still achieved everything I needed to achieve in life. Let's leave Oli alone. When Oli starts failing, then I'll be like, yeah. We can bring out the witch hunt. But right now, how are we going to criticize someone that took us way above and beyond where we expected to be around this time last year? Shit, if the man makes Europa League, you all be like, yeah, happy days posting on social media, United.
True.
Look, you know what, Max? You have a point. You do have a point. Congratulations on all your success, Max. But the thing is, right? All I'm saying is, right, is that Oli, I honestly believe that those tactics on him, it's Abo, what's his name? Michael, what's his name? Phelan. Those are the guys who are managing the team. Oli is he's just the baby face that is the face of the club. Because he doesn't rally the players. I bet you he doesn't even do the team talks.
But how doesn't rally the players? You know, I agree with you in the sense that Mike Phelan and them are the tactics and the genius. But to say he doesn't rally the players, how do we know he doesn't rally the players?
Because we see him. He sits down the whole game.
Lampard looks more involved with this team.
That's what I'm saying, Jets. You're judging the guy based on the 90 minutes you're watching.
When you're losing,
Lampard looks involved.
That's when you see your manager. when you lose.
Lampard is involved. Pep looks involved. Klopp looks involved. Arteta looks involved.
But
everyone
guys,
else
it's not
even
Klopp. Forget about
look. Just because they.
But I'm just saying. But how would you feel if your manager said like this?
Hey, look, Martial does this thing and is banging.
If he's told you what you need to do, if he's told you what your job is, right? Do you really want him? I mean, KK. Let's say you're at work, right? Your manager just told you, dude, we need 1, 2, 3. Do you really want him standing there next to you, be like, yo, bruh? No, don't do it like that.
But Kels, it's 60 minutes. It's no. Clearly, whatever we had going into this, we didn't think that we were going to hit 60 minutes at no. Show me that you're still thinking about this game. Show me that you're thinking about it. You're trying to move things.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there like this.
Have you seen Pep? Have you seen Pep on the touchline?
But I
like
think
watching a maniac, Pep.
We don't have the squad, guys.
It's 5-0 up.
We don't have the squad.
5-0 up. Pep
What are you going to do?
But you know the differences. You know the differences. Honestly, and I might be reaching, but I think it's true. You see, the difference between those other coaches, except for Klopp, those guys were not strikers. I think with Ole being a striker, I think because you see we're scoring maybe a bit more goals, so maybe the focus and the emphasis is a bit more on the end product instead of the build.
We scored a penalty in our last game.
You see? Pep is a midfielder. Arteta's a midfielder. Lampard is a midfielder. These guys understand how the transitions work within, not just watching from the outside or scoring goals. I'm just saying that could be your point. And by the way, PSG is losing.
Possible.
That's
also possible.
No, but look, another thing is, for me, right? I want to see an animated coach. I'll never forget when Alex Ferguson were literally winning a game, right?
Does he have to be animated?
Well, hold on, Gillity. 85th minute, this guy, I think it was Phil Jones who made a mistake. Alex Ferguson stood up from his seat, walked down, and he screamed at this guy for making one mistake, and we're winning this game clean. That's what I want to see.
Didn't you see Oli do that against City? Remember against City, where we were playing the League Cup. The League Cup, was it the League Cup? But yeah, where Jesse Lingard made the mistake and Oli gets on the timeline. He's like, Jesse, one more mistake and you're off. Don't you guys remember that?
We need that daily.
You see that in the papers?
No. We need that daily. But I mean, it doesn't. We don't even
on the papers.
But
the very first time I ever saw Oli say anything to anyone.
But Kels, we don't even need to stretch it. You yourself, you try watch United be 1-0 down or 0-0. And you try not to be animated. You just try sitting still. It's impossible.
You yourself.
It's impossible. You yourself. First game at night, Champions League game.
You know what I'm saying?
We are all different.
I know each and every one of you guys are screaming. I know many definitely.
Yeah, because we animated.
Does he doesn't scream?
He does. He gets up.
Some of
Zidane doesn't. Everyone gets up, but
Oli doesn't. Oli doesn't even get up.
He does.
No, he sits on the side. Oli even sits on his side. Oli even sits. You know that old man sitting when old men sit on the one side. Oli sits on the side like this.
He doesn't even celebrate goals, Gillity. He doesn't even celebrate goals.
Maisa, why do you want your coach to be a fan? Why do you want your coach to be a fan?
That's what we sold with Oli though. But this is Oli's selling point. No, I'm a fan of this club. I'm a legend. That's what he sells.
But he's not selling that he's the fan. But he's not selling that he's a fan. He's not selling that he's gonna run. He's gonna run like Klopp. He's not gonna run like Klopp and go and hug his players. That's not who he is. Why do you want him to do that?
About hugging his players.
Why do you? Why? Maisa, why? Why do you? Yeah?
Go hug.
You just want to be coach of Man United.
Do something to show that you care, bruh.
But you know Oli cares.
How do we know if he's sitting there? He sits there more longer than us.
If you listen to Oli's press conferences, do you listen to his press? Do you hear what he says?
See it. We need to see it.
Who cares about press conferences?
Seeing is believing.
You guys are dramatic.
I want to ask you one thing. How dare he sit down the whole game when he's playing against Pep Guardiola, a guy who's won everything? How dare he sits
What was the score of that game? What was the score? What
is that going to do?
How dare he sits next to Klopp, dog?
What was the result? Tell me the result. I don't care if he sits or not. I just want the result. If
did Pep beat him? Huh? Exactly to Max's point. Did Pep beat him? while he was sitting there like an old man? No, he didn't. So what do you want? Do you want him to be there, busy doing backflips? Give me an M, give me an A, give me an N. Or do you want him to be winning games?
Oh, you're funny.
Honestly, I'm telling you, you want the wrong thing.
You want Jadon Sancho to come to this club. If Jadon Sancho comes to this club, right? At least I know he'll bring some exciting football. And I hope that Ole can just stand up and be excited like everyone else, because I'm pretty sure
Kels, you guys are actually aren't being fair, because when Martial and Poppers don't look like they're interested, it's, oh my God, he doesn't show enough passion for the badge. He doesn't show, and I'm the one that's saying, no, but guys, for them, it's also just a job. So you can't turn around and say that. You can't turn around and say that for Oli.
When Martial and Pogba don't look interested, their performance reflects. But it's part of the game. They're not getting the ball. Things are happening. When Oli sits there at 0-0 and he's doing nothing, it's tactically exactly the same thing. No, it's not, because he's got other guys. But he's not doing anything.
I criticize.
No, I hear you, Myers. I hear you. But these guys, I'm saying they need to be consistent. You are.
But it's two different situations, KK. During the game, there's because during a match, the performance, the result depends on the players. Yes, the coaches can.
Then the coach might as well sit in the stands.
Where the coach makes the difference is in the training. Is in training.
Come on, Kels. And I think that's the difference, Kels. No, Kels.
You can't tell me.
I'm gonna take it back to you. Actually, when you were playing full soccer in high school, you had a fucking animated coach who was screaming every single step of the way.
That didn't make me play better.
Keleti. That's all you kept hearing. You make one mistake. Keleti. Remember that?
That didn't make me play better. Can I tell you? That didn't make me a better player. What made me a better player was practice. And I'm glad you took it back to when I played in high school, because I played soccer then. I know the benefits of the training versus the game. The impact of the coach in both situations.
If we're expecting passion from players, we expect the same passion from our manager.
No,
the passion we expect. No. But that's what you expect from Martial. You only expect a goal from Martial. Don't expect him to smile then. Don't expect him to be smiling.
But when he's not smiling, he doesn't score.
What is your problem? That the man is not passionate. Is that the only problem, or are we saying
no? But like, show us something from the bench. Show us something. Why do you want it from Martial? Why do you want it from Pogba? Why do you care that? Why does Scott get plus marks for doing it? You can answer those questions. If you can answer those questions, then that is exactly why Oli also needs it.
No, but it's not. But I'm telling you, it's not.
It's the entire squad. We need it from everyone.
It's like saying, do you expect your goalkeeper to do the same thing as your striker?
Players, managers, they're all part of the squad. They all play for United. We want it from everyone.
The question is, do you expect people with different roles to do the same thing?
If Oli shows passion in training, is that not enough? If he shows passion,
if Martial shows in training, why is it important? Why is it still a conversation that he doesn't show it in a match?
Because
it's got nothing to do with him kicking the ball.
Something. Because Martial's game time is what we judge him against. We judge Oli against the season. We judge a player against performances on the pitch. We can't really judge a coach's performance on the pitch per se.
But guys, this has nothing to do with performance. This is just.
No, but it has to. It has to do with performance. Because when Martial isn't happy on the pitch,
I think you guys have forgotten the team that you support.
Have you seen
this
him now?
This team was built on passion.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
This team was built on
that team was built on passion and hard work.
It's not Passion United.
You cannot tell me, Kels, even you know, when you walk into that changing room at halftime, you 1-0 down, And people say this all the time. Team will walk in there mad and frustrated, and you'll have a speech. You're telling me if you can't see that from your manager, the guy that's supposed to give you the, if you can't see that, if your manager, you're 1-0 down, or you know, and your manager is just sitting there, folding his legs.
I've heard Oli gives them the hair dryer. I've read Gailings and
what I'm saying is, okay, now we're in the second 45 minutes. Your manager is sitting there, chilling. You don't want to, that's when you need the entire team. You need Herrera screaming. You need people screaming, showing passion. Guys, let's go for it.
I agree with you.
And your manager is sitting there.
In the what you call it. Copenhagen. I agree with you.
Yeah.
We need to, when we really need to get over the line, like the Copenhagen game. Sharp played that passion. But I think the issue I particularly have with you and Mike right now is that you're saying that it needs to be a continuous sign of the passion needs to be forever evident on that touchline. And I'm saying, if it's not a game like the Copenhagen game, he can sit as much as he wants, as long as he gets a result. That's all I give a damn about.
Exactly.
Oh, look, Max. Look, passion from a 3-0 win, passion from a 2-0 win is that's easy. All I'm saying is, there will be, even in this 38-game season, if hopefully there's no breaks, straight 38 games, there'll be games when we'll be 0-0 up until the 80th. There'll be games where we are 1-0 down at 45 minutes. And you just want to make sure that it's there. And there've been games where we actually have been in those positions and we've still seen nothing from one. That's what we're saying.
And the thing is, Max,
I don't think it's necessary.
Alex Ferguson had seen over 1,000 goals at United. That guy celebrated goals, still got excited like it was the first time he ever saw a goal.
I agree. Listen,
he sits there as if he's seen 10
some people are cold as hell. Some people are chilled. At the end of the day, all I want is the result. Maeza, we can't expect us all to be exuberant extroverts out here. If Oli is an introvert,
I hear you, Max. I really do. All I'm saying is, when we're losing, when we are losing, we want to see activity. I want to see when my club is 1-0 down. I want to see the manager screaming at these bosses and saying, "Why the hell are you guys 1-0 down?"
Mike, okay, fine. I think that's a subjective way of you looking at it, right? That is your personal preference. It's subjective. But the only way to really judge someone is on the objective results. He got us into top 4. We are now in the semi-finals of the Europa League. We've got the semi-finals of the FA Cup. He's getting the results. So you can't tell him how to do the job. He is doing the job. And I'm not his fan. Remember, I wanted to put him for the longest time.
Don't forget his transfer policy.
No. You should be doing it like this. He is doing it right now. So wait.
I'm not saying. See, I never said. I never said that Oli is a terrible manager with no results. What I'm saying is that Oli, when it comes tactically, he's boring. He just sits there the whole game, dog.
Hey, but Mike,
that's what he does. Mike Phelan is the guy who's coaching that team.
Mike, I can bet you everything
we can sack Oli tomorrow.
That there's no part of his contract that says.
Maeza, you're reaching for the stars.
No part of his contract that goes, please make sure that Mike Maeza in South Africa is happy. It's not in that contract.
No, look, Mike,
doesn't have to do it.
What I will say, right, is I do believe, and would have to fact check this. I do believe when you have a coach who's animated quite a lot, I think it does elevate a team to a higher level. It does, because now we're talking about. I'm not talking about so. Minnie, I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree with you 130%. The man has performed. I'm happy. I'm so happy with Ole this season. I don't mind. I'm cool. Sharp. I'm gonna judge him more next season. We'll see.
I wouldn't say I'm happy, but I'm not gonna be like I want.
No, I mean, what did we expect?
How can you not be happy?
I'm talking about him to sign a long-term contract. I'm not that happy.
But let's look at expectations.
Guys.
What were the expectations at the beginning of the season?
We came third in the Premier League.
I'm happy.
Neto will come in 6th.
Look, Ed does not need to get the contract out. Okay, let's just chill. It does not need to get the contract out.
Yeah, but they can still
give it to Mike Phelan.
No, stop.
Dude, they can fire Ole tomorrow and we will be fine.
No, stop.
No, Mike, like Mini wanted the conversation.
My point.
I guess Ole's good in press conferences.
Wait. My point was. I think you have a coach who's like that. It does elevate the players to a higher level. Because now what you really want and what you're looking for is you're trying to close the gap between Liverpool and the rest of Europe and etc. Right? So I think Ole is good. I think what he does works. I don't think what he does is enough to get us into to win the Premier League. Maybe top 2. You never know because sometimes other teams collapse and we also do well. Whatever. Who knows? But to win the actual league, win UEFA. I don't know.
Not yet.
However, I'm not gonna hate on the guy. I'm not gonna hate on the guy for. I don't mind him not being there. I think where he lacks, and I say it again, I reiterate. I think it's not about him being over passionate. I think the lack is tactical prowess. If he was to fix that, I think it wouldn't matter if he's shouting or not. To be honest.
As if you're shouting the wrong thing.
Exactly.
Neo, I agree with you.
I don't think you covered this part. I think when a coach is animated, from my experience, it's one of two things, right? If you're going to be that animated on the side of the field, you might be like a Sir Alex Ferguson mold, which means the team is somewhat scared of you, right? So when you shout, they're like, yay, Muna, it's shaking. When I get in that change room, I don't want this man down my back. Right? And I don't think he has that. Do you really think if he jumps up and you start shouting at Pogba is going to be like, yay, I must shape up, right? Or one of the boys. Like now the coach is almost like your friend. Maybe like a Klopp, for instance. I don't think Klopp is animated out of fear, but I think he's animated in terms of like he's so part of that squad's banter and how they have their energy. I don't think that's what Solskjaer is necessarily going for. I think he's a bit removed from the squad because the squad has a good energy by itself, right? Because he's also a young coach. He doesn't want to overdo it. Now he's friends with Pogba. Now he must tell his friend, yo, Pogba, you're doing that. So what you? And then now Pogba's going to have this little thing of being like, I thought you were mates, dog. Oh, you're pretending with me. So it's very tricky. He can't just come in and be animated and then also be like, I'm detached when it comes to like party, office parties. But then on the side of the field, I'm going to tell you nuts because we're friends now. And I'm like, he has to play to his attribute. He doesn't have the personality to do it like a Klopp, and he doesn't have the personality to be a Sir Alex Ferguson. So what he's doing, he's a bit clinical. He's a bit more cold and detached. But the team is doing what it needs to do, and the team
he's Scandinavian. He's fighting.
Rather say, if you have one thing, I'd rather hear from you is if you said, if you need someone to have that gees on the field, rather say if that's how he wants to coach, then he must always have his general on the field, someone who's going to be like a Roy Keane for him. Like his cop.
Scott McTominay.
Harry Maguire's this guy.
That's how you say it, but you can't say the coach must do it like that.
Don't discount Bruno. Bruno's also up there.
Mini, I love when you see when you brought in Klopp, you can tell that Klopp is like big brother more than like your friend. You can see Klopp, those guys respect Klopp, dog. He hugs them, they respect him. He also has his moments where he goes crazy on them, but they respect that man.
Mike, you can't ask Solskjaer.
That guy can tell Salah. That guy can tell Salah shit.
But it's hard. Yeah, it's hard for Solskjaer to earn respect. I mean, you're a goal-tapping merchant and you come from Mulder. It's very difficult. How is Pogba going to listen to that?
Maybe in your time and he's won 3 Premier Leagues. He can
exactly. You tapped in a goal. Yeah, you tapped in a goal 99 and you were coaching a Mulder.
Only you used to coach what you call Pogba. So there's that respect.
That's why Pogba wants to go to Real Madrid because he knows Zizou. If you're a player being coached by Zizou, I mean, I would listen to Zizou, dog. If Zizou says to me, "Hey, Chief, this is how you win a title," I'm gonna be like, "Of course, it's Zizou."
You know what kind of
you guys are talking like Oli didn't take points off Liverpool.
You know what kind of student Mike was? You know, there's always that one exam where, let's say, the teacher would be like, these 5 topics are the ones that are going to be either they might be in your exam, but only 3 are going to be tested. Mike crams 3, but the ones that he didn't cram are the ones that come out with 1. So now he answers the one that he did cram, and then he forces the other 2 answers into these other classes. I don't care. This is what I know. Why do Ericsson fly?
Oh God!
But Mike can study why our buildings tall. which is cool.
No, listen, Mini.
Oh, fuck.
That's funny.
I'm gonna steal your analogy. I'm gonna use it on somewhere else because it's actually a very funny one. But what I'm saying is, Mini, let's be honest now. You, as Mini Bengu right now, if you have an option to be signed by either Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Zidane, who are you going for?
Like, if we are getting to a point of what ifs like this, my man, come on. Can
I ask you a question, Maeza?
You're going to Zizou, dog.
If Mason Greenwood has a kid, are we going to sign it if he has a kid with Serena Williams or he has a kid with Ariana Grande? No, you must have a kid with Serena because it's going to be bigger, the thousand going to be thing, this son, that kid. Mike, come on.
Nah, but you can't ask that question because even during Ferguson's time, we were actually in this week in the group. We were saying we lost Benzema, there was Varane, but Sir Alex was there, greatest coach of all time. They're like, nah, fuck that, Real Madrid, yeah.
Real Madrid because of the weather, dog. We got charged by the weather.
But you know, guys, my issue with a lot of this conversation about Oli. In terms of beating top 6 teams, he's done more damage since Ferguson's time. Even Mao hasn't been able to do the same things. United's problem is our squad.
Don't bring the great one into this, dog. Don't do this. This is like that whole Beyonce, Michael Jackson type of thing. Don't do this.
Who's the great one? Who's the great one?
You know, like don't bring Ferguson into your
forget about Ferguson. He's done better than Mourinho. He's done better than which are the Van Gaal.
I thought he was
David
and Moyes.
That's fine.
Before the COVID break, we were the only team to take points off Liverpool. Are you hearing this shit? And now we say he doesn't have tactics. I think the problem with our team is our squad. Oli has only 11 players on that 22-man squad.
That's the problem. 14. And now, my worry
even
now
in Europa,
is we bring Sancho, and he's going to play Sancho every single game without giving that kid a poor break.
United needs 4 to 5, new players.
But Max, you're not being consistent, though, because in 80% of those big games, he was playing with those guys that you're saying he doesn't have a squad with, though.
No, I'm saying he has his core squad.
I'm saying, I agree with you, but I'm saying 80% of the games against the Big Six, a majority of it was made up of the guys that are sitting on the bench. The Dan James, the Fred, the McTominays, they were playing.
Yes, and like I said, we only have a team of about 14 players. You need a 22-man squad for this.
No, but I'm saying if you add the guys on the bench with the 11, we get to about 18.
And also,
it's not
big issue,
as diabolical as we say.
The issue United has is that we're not good at breaking down small teams or mid-tier teams.
Oh, we used
with prime teams, it's a case of, okay, they're going to attack us, we'll hit them on the counter-attack. When Bruno came, he changed our fortune because now we had someone to unlock teams. Unfortunately, Bruno is fucking tired, and it's understandable that he's tired. I mean, the guy
because he plays every game.
It's true.
Every minute it's very
of every game. We need that Grealish character or whatever, or someone else, and it should be Mata. But clearly, Mata is.
What we need to do is to rest players.
No, but
Bruno doesn't get to play 90 minutes if we're up 4-0.
Hopefully, next season that will be the case. Hopefully, time will tell. But since the break, he's had to play every game. He's had to. Otherwise, we're not in Champions League.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when he had to, we can't even. It's not an F or but. He had to.
I'm not saying.
Well, no,
I'm not saying the boy must play every game. I'm saying he doesn't have to play 90 minutes of every game. You only 3-0. Keep this guy on for what? Let him rest.
But once again, you haven't answered me. Which game was that? But anyway, let's carry on.
No, but Kels, I think we need to make sure that we look at post-lockdown games. And the next season, they're two completely different things.
Agree.
We can't take those tactics into a 38-game season.
100%.
I mean, if you have leads,
but I don't think he will.
Because we don't know. It's in the future.
It sounds like
it's in the future.
It sounds like we're saying he will.
No, we're saying we hope.
It's in the future. It's in the future.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, we need players. We need 3 players.
If we know it, why doesn't he?
And I understand why we don't want to buy. You know what, man? To be honest with you, right? Because of what's happening now with this Dortmund situation, because apparently our transfer budget is about 100 mil. So I get why Ed doesn't want to. He doesn't want an initial capital outlay of 90 mil. It makes sense, right? And it could be to our advantage if we actually don't buy Sancho this season, if we buy like your Koulibaly, not a Koulibaly, but like another centre back, another midfielder, before we actually buy Sancho next season.
Nah, but
it could probably work better.
Can I counter your argument why that doesn't work?
Yeah.
One is because I was watching some guys who were analyzing the market, and they were saying that the reason why Man U are pushing for this transfer now is because the moment if Sancho has another brilliant season, remember the end of next season is the Euros. So when he goes to the Euros as well, the market price is going to go up. Markets are probably going to stabilize a little bit. So demanding a high fee becomes a bit more realistic. So that's the issue now you're having for next season. So now Sancho might be 250 next year easily. And how could you not say no to that? Still 21. It's going to Euros. Maybe they win Bundesliga, whatever. Who knows? So you have the risk of the price escalating higher to what it would be now, as well as any other capital outlay definitely higher.
Than 120.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely.
Do you think he could get to Kylian Mbappe, Neymar levels?
Mbappe's at 300 now. It's going up, bro. It's not that they're staying at 200. He's not staying at 200. Mbappe's now 300, dog. Everything keeps going up.
No,
but he's also 1 year. Unless he signs
the valuation decreases as well. Like it's also based on the contract length.
Yeah, but he extended.
You can find that next season, Sancho could be cheaper.
No, but they extended his contract.
That's what Zorg says. That's what Zorg says.
Yeah, they extended his
contract. I don't trust Zorg.
No, I can believe that he won't lie about them giving him a new contract. They extended by that. Because remember, sometimes you can just automatically because in England we like to advertise. Hey, Scotty has another year. Hey, it doesn't necessarily mean that in the other leagues they necessarily do it like that. But the other thing I wanted to say as well is that I also believe that this can be done, bruh. Those guys, Ed and Co. Those guys are not willing to sacrifice their bonuses to bring Sancho to Man U. You see, this is the quality of leadership we have. Guys are willing to get paid over 20 or 30 or hundreds of millions of bonuses instead of donating that to the transfer fees and supporting the fans who buy shirts every year.
No, let's not be foolish. We've already said we've overpaid for Maguire. We've already said we've overpaid for Pogba. I am actually glad we are really stretching. Well, I'm not glad it's stretching out, but I'm glad we haven't caved to that $100 million.
No, but we shouldn't have caved for Maguire.
I don't understand why you guys keep saying we overpaid for Maguire.
No, we didn't.
We bought a captain.
No.
We bought a leader.
No. That guy's 60 million.
No, max 60 million max.
60 million, please.
I do. Sorry, I was going to say I do like what. I agree. I do like that point. I don't know whether it's worth £20 million, but I like that he's come in. I mean, he's played every single minute of every single Premier League game. Right?
Pretty unnecessary, but he has. but actually, speaking on that, right? This is how powerful I think the media sometimes is speaking on that. The record is we have the most clean sheets in Europe. But and you say, yeah, apparently we have the most clean sheets in Europe. Maguire has come in and he's a captain, played all the games. But all of a sudden, there's this narrative. Yes, there's been a couple of mistakes at the back, but most clean sheets. And now there's this, oh my God, we have to get a centre-back. Not that we're grooming a centre-back. No, we have to get a centre-back to come in and start playing. I mean, I just don't understand.
No,
but we've said this on this group as well.
Linda's soft.
Look, what do you suggest we do? Should we give?
I just don't think it's that bad. It's not that bad if our record. I mean, Max said our biggest issue this season was the fact that we couldn't break down teams. So we'd lose if we lost. Our losing number of games we lost was not that high. Also, it was number of games drawn, meaning that we couldn't score. Us at the back, yes, we had some terrible games, but it wasn't as bad as we're making it seem.
Yeah, but you know what's the differences between the other top tier teams in Europe? They might concede 3, but they'll score 5.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But we didn't even concede 3.
Yeah,
it's just that we couldn't score. We couldn't score that 1. We couldn't score that 1, or we couldn't score that 2 to make it 2-1.
Yeah, no,
You know why? It's because we've also converted Pogba into a defender as well, so we have extra cover.
But Kike, to your point, I agree with you. The problem is the gulf between us and Liverpool is where I think that centre back helps close that gulf quite a bit.
Starting from the back, playing from the back.
We will not be elite in Europe until we have a world-class defense. And right now, the only world-class player, I would say, from the centre-back perspective that we have is Harry Maguire. But still needs to prove that he can have sustained fitness and get to that level expected.
100% sustained.
Lindelof is just a squad player as far as I'm concerned. Koulibaly,
I won't lie to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lindelof, when there was a point in the game, and I've never seen that from Lindelof. And
he got fired up with Copenhagen.
Yes, with Williams.
Yeah, shouting at Williams, yeah.
This is my centre back. This is my centre back.
Because he's growing a moustache.
But apparently, some people don't want passion, and some people don't want to see passion. It's all about the tactics on the training ground.
No, but you can't. You can't have lack of passion on the field. Like players, have you noticed when Bruno was busy? You were talking about Bruno and Wan-Bissaka and this. Have you seen? It's like, hey, bro, you gotta have people shouting on the field. You have to. I'm not talking about the coach. I'm saying the players. The players must also be. There must be that self-motivation of, yo, get up, bro. You messed up. Let's go. Let's go get the other goal. Come on, man. You fucked up, but okay, let's go. You need to have that.
Yeah, but look, Gillette says you get all that on the training pitch.
We're talking about a coach.
One thing I'll say about Bruno, he's made people's passion go to the next level. He's come in there, he started shouting. People like Pogba have also come to realize, I can't just do my prima donna antics on the pitch anymore. I think the more better players we get like Sancho, the better other players will also naturally get.
Exactly, Max. That's why we need Sancho, because he's going to help make all the other players better, especially Pogba. And also, we diminish the reliance we have on Bruno Fernandes. Honestly, guys, Bruno Fernandes does 100%. Everything for that team. He's on corners, attacking penalties, free kicks. He's the whole attack. Come on, guys.
No, he does
come
too
on.
much.
Whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Greenwood. Greenwood is amazing, man. I don't know if you guys had a chat about him last week. Kid is showing them levels. I mean, when his goal is disallowed and he managed to finish it, I couldn't believe it, man. The guy takes his opportunity.
That's a world-class finish. World-class.
That was...
But Greenwood, it was very nice. But he also lets you know that he is young, though.
That man is elite.
You know that he's young.
He could be elite. You get elite, world class, and then I suppose national. I don't know what you call the third rank. But Greenwood is on track to be elite, no doubt. He's going to that Messi, Mbappe level of Van Dijk sort of quality.
All he needs to do
is needs to focus.
His fitness, gain a little bit more
muscle. You
can't
compare Mbappe to anyone.
Don't have.
Hope they don't give me a new contract anytime.
Yeah. Don't go doing what Martial did. You see, Martial is doing well also because he's now settled with one woman. So there's also that whole area. I mean, are you gonna say there's no correlation? The man was going between different parents, different baby mamas.
I agree. He's more settled. So we can't discount the fact Oli played good man management with that chap by using the numbered jersey to get the best out of him. Because when Martial's having a good game, he's also elite, and then there's just other games where he's just like, hey.
Yeah.
But he's
all he needs to work on more of the Rashford. He needs to work on Rashi, because my God, that guy is just, some games he's good, some games he's just shocking.
But this is why James, you can't keep saying, oh, Dan James is so far off it. Some games you must give Dan. I mean, if Dan James plays with Martial up front, he plays with Bruno next to him, Pogba's there, there's no ways he won't lift up his game after a while. To the point where Rashford is like, okay, maybe I can't be on and off. Because they will hit that point, Kels, of whether I
heard Lingard say he plays Call of Duty with Lingard every day. I don't know if Lingard is saying, they play Call of Duty every day together or very often apparently. But I don't know if Lingard's influence is also Dan James.
Yeah, you see, he doesn't even comb his hair anymore.
You think it's coming through the controller, Max?
I don't know, birds of a feather flock together.
Just because people are boys.
On a side note, I cannot believe Jesse Lingard broke up with Jenna Frooms. That nigga lost the plot, bro. He lost the plot.
But Max, it makes sense. He's going through a lot right now. Everything's just coming.
Gents, I think we should wrap it up for this week. Max, please can you take us?
Yeah, otherwise it won't stop.
So,
it's 10.
I had 2 rants. First rant, I
time
didn't
flies.
understand Jesse Lingard got rid of Jenna Frooms. That man only he only hit those levels again, bro. That was a loss. I don't care. Sometimes in life, especially, Lingard was punching above his weight, bro. And second rant. Watching the Juventus, was it Juventus Lyon?
Yeah.
Game. Honestly, they need to fix the handball rule. It's shocking how Memphis Depay's apparent handball was given was just outrageous. I mean, the guy was protecting himself. He's
standing in the wall.
I mean, shit. You might as well. They're behaving like police in America with black people, bro. You just be walking randomly. Red cards.
Going for the ball, not going for the ball. Touch your hand.
FIFA really needs to amend that rule because it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
And it's got nothing to do with VAR either.
Yeah.
Because it's a different the handball rule is different in different leagues. I think in UEFA.
I don't know who it is per se, but yeah, we need it to be changed because it just takes away from the game and the excitement. It's great for debate and stuff like that, but that decision was absolutely shocking.
Yeah, no.
Would it not be okay? No, I'll start a new debate. Let's go.
Let's call it. I would strongly recommend watch this game. Second half, PSG are losing. Herrera, that traitorous swine, is getting what he deserves. But what I want you to actually watch, and we'll discuss it next week. Watch how Atlanta are fucking playing defensively and moving forward. These boys are bad. Watch how they press. That's how United should press. But anyway,
I have a question. Are these games 1 leg or 2 leg?
No, it's not
one. Okay.
Oh, where are they from?
It's in Germany.
Italy.
Italiano.
Yeah. No, it's been played in Portugal.
Oh, is it Portugal?
Max.
Germany.
Max.
Yeah.
I don't think you should compare Mbappe to anyone. Like Mbappe is not to be spoken about.
When did I compare
with mere mortals?
No, Mbappe is special. Greenwood get to Neymar.
Yeah, Mbappe is not here, dog. Like I like Greenwood, but Mbappe is not here.
Yeah, but I agree with you. They're not on the same level, but I'm saying they could be in the
They'll
same
never
class.
be on the same level.
Don't forget, Norwich and Co are in the same Premiership as Manchester United and Liverpool.
But Manchester United is top 4, baby.
Yeah, so basically what I'm trying
League,
to say
went down, and Norwich went down.
Wait.
Norwich in Champions League, baby.
He might not be number 1 in the elite class, but he's up there in the elite class.
Look,
fingers
he can be part of a conversation, but you can't be saying that he'll be like Mbappe, man. Like, that's a World Cup winner at 19.
That man, he wasn't even in the Ballon d'Or ranks. Mane was 3rd. Who is this Mbappe that you speak
because
about?
Mbappe just burst on the scene now, man.
Yeah. Nonsense.
World Cup winner at 19. He's got more